everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I am thrilled you have joined me today. And we're going to do a couple of things. I have a flip through of this gorgeous journal that I just completed as a little project for Sam Poole. And I'm excited to show that to you. And then also, I thought we would do just a quick little craft with me so I can show you how I created this little topper. And I was totally inspired by one of my friends, Sandy Boothman, and she is on Instagram and has been making these gorgeous kind of journal cards, little collage cluster things, and I just thought I would do a fun little quick craft with me on that and show you my version, and then we will have a full flip through of this gorgeous journal. So stick around. If you want to fast forward to the flip through, go for it. Otherwise, if you feel like crafting along, grab a few items and I will join you back in just a flash. Okay, so as you can see here, my little topper is multi-dimensional here. I've got an Edith Holden book page, and then I have some embossed paper, a little vintage book page, and then some fun little ephemera items to attach on. And then I did back this little fairy with some vintage file folder, so it's fairly stiff, which I like, especially for a topper. If you were going to just include this as a journaling card within your journal, it doesn't have to be that sturdy, but I really liked how kind of hefty it is. You could even attach a sari ribbon and, wrap it around something if you wanted. So that was just how I created my little topper here. And then on this one, similar, started with the Edith Holden book page and then an embossed just cardstock and a little bit of vintage, kind of some sort of like ledger or grid paper book page. And then here again, I did the vintage file folder, those dark green folders. I think they're called hanging folders. I sort of raid my husband's filing cabinet for those, and then a few little fun ephemera pieces. So these two images are from Art House Whimsy, and I just love them. They are so adorable. I'm going to go ahead and put the journal aside for a bit. And I have a couple of different options for the embossed paper. And I also have this darling little fairy girl that I thought would do for our sort of mock-up here. So I think I'm going to use the cream color. And then I do also have a Edith Holden book page. So let me go ahead and kind of just, let's see, decide. So this is, I think it goes this way. You kind of want to have a little bit on the side, and depending on how large you want to make these, you can tear down. I think I might tear off a little bit of the sky on this one, just because we don't need her to be super tall. And so we're going to go ahead and back her with a little bit of file folder. So it doesn't have to be the exact size, but just similar in size so that you have a little bit of sturdiness. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down, and I may decide to tear off the edges, so I'm not sure yet. And I think I'll use the green side up, so we have a little bit of that peeking out. If I can get it on straight. Hope you guys are doing great. I am excited to be back and have a video for you. And I hope you all have been taking care of yourself and making sure you're staying positive and all that good stuff. Okay, so here, let's think about what we're going to add behind. I do have some more of this beautiful vintage, it's like a Welsh Bible, I think. I got it from Lovely Lotties. She always has the best vintage book pages that she includes in her bundles. So I kind of like that. I might have a little bit of that popping up. So I just tear that little piece off. So as you can see, it doesn't really matter that the file folder didn't go all the way to the edge because we're going to be just gluing it down anyway. Kind of get that over there just a little bit. And I may have to do a little bit more gluing depending on how big we have our spot here. So I'm thinking we will probably cut this off on this side just a bit. I definitely don't need it to be a big square. Like I said, you can make these as big or small as you want. I think tiny little ones would be super cute. I'm actually going to get rid of this part that wasn't embossed on the bottom. And we'll just give this a little tiny bit of inking. Okay, oops, and someone is at my door. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Alrighty, so I have some little stamps here that I thought we would take a look at and see if we want to add. Can't see if that's right side up or, or not. I think I need a new prescription. That one's kind of fun. I also like that one. It's got Canada. This blue one is kind of pretty. She's got these random stamps in a Etsy order, and I've been slowly starting to use them. Kind of fun. That one's kind of cool. That's from the Netherlands. I like the red on there. So I'm just going to kind of randomly stick some stuff down, and then we'll sort of glue the whole thing together as a whole. I also have some scraps. This is from a page from Lydia at Raindrop Lila. They are these really cool like ticket things. I don't know, they have the dates on them and everything. Anyway, this is just a little extra scrap that I had that I didn't use in the journal. So maybe we will pop that down as well. Let's see. Collaging is definitely a free-form artwork in my opinion. There are so many different ways you can add things. No, I don't like that there. Let's see if we like it on, sorry, we like it over here. Yeah, I like it better on that side. Actually, I should have put the glue on here. So hold up. We'll just do a little quickie right there. Okay, so we're gonna kind of just fit it right like so. Alrighty, and then I need to, actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna put all my glue on here first. Sorry guys, my brain's a little bit vacant today for some reason. Just kind of a weird week so far. All right, so I'm gonna attempt this again, and then we will tuck our little piece in. There we go. All right, that's better. Okay, so from here, let's kind of decide if we want, I think I'm going to actually cut off a little bit more on this side. And just a hair on the bottom. side. Oops. There we go. When you work with embossed paper, you have to be really careful because it can kind of just split apart at any given moment. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we will just glue that down on a little bit of words above it. Maybe we want this side. Okay. And you could use hot glue or just regular glue. Glue stick seems to work pretty well, but it is totally up to you. So I'm going to glue that down first, and then we'll tear it. So I want the sides to be kind of a little uneven, which I definitely would say that is for sure uneven. Little scrunching over there on the side, and then we'll probably, I'm going to add some, I think I have a little fabric scrap that would be super cute. Alrighty, let me see, where did I put my scrap? It seems to have disappeared. Oh, here it is. It's under my stamps. So I was thinking maybe just up in that corner would be cute. Like so, and I'm going to just staple it to make it easy. You could totally hot glue it or just glue it down regular, but so that is just as easy as it is. Super fun. You could go much more elaborate. You could omit the Edith Holden book page if you're not a fan of that. You could add age tape, all kinds of possibilities, but super fun. And you know, it would be super cute just as another different journal topper. I am going to clean up really quick and then we'll have a nice flip through and I will be right back. Alrighty, so let's jump right in. So I created an open spine journal and I love how it turned out. This is kind of an apothecary nature theme that I use for my project for Sam, and I love this new kit of hers. It's called Nature's Gift, and it's so beautiful. And as I had mentioned earlier in the little craft with me sesh, I was just so obsessed with these journal cards that I saw my friend Sandy make, and you should definitely go check them out. I will link them in her in the box down below if you want to check them out. I think she's only on Instagram. But anyway, so this is the journal topper, and just take this off and set it aside, and this is my little lace attachment for the covers, and then I have the signature is sewn in with this beautiful sari, and then I decided to do a little eyelet closure because she's a little chunky, but I just thought that looked really kind of like, I don't know, really cool. I love doing these kind of closures, and it's when you open her up, she's a little floppy. You could take things in and out if you wanted to very easily, so that's always nice. And this is some of that beautiful crinkle ribbon that I'm obsessed with as well. So let's just open her up and I will show you inside. So the front pocket is stuffed with some lovely little ephemera goodies, and I printed all these little tags and journal cards just on the presentation paper, and a double side printed them because I wanted them to be you know, easily used throughout the journal. in any way. So just kind of fun to have some little extras. And I used several, oops, there's a little butterfly got stuck behind there, several of Sam's kits throughout, and they're all listed below. But how gorgeous are these ephemera pieces? Just so lovely. So you have a nice little bundle of goodies in here to play with. And a nice sturdy pocket. I used the file folders for the covers as well. This is that gorgeous embossing folder that we all know and love. Thought that would make a really pretty first page. And this is just so stunning. I was so happy with my printer that it printed out as well as it did. I don't know if you can see with the lighting. Hopefully it's not too glary. But this is just a nice little journaling card. And the papers in the kit are just beautiful neutral shades and so yummy. And then on this side we have a little top tuck, and I popped in another piece of the ephemera, and this is a little offcut of one of the Edith Holden pages. I thought that was nice with the mushrooms, so those get tucked in here. And then on this little sort of a half page, short page, I have a over the page tuck, and as it opens up there's a little kind of secret journaling spot that I just did a little bit of collaging on, and then this is what it actually looks like in the kit. So I just thought that was perfect for a nice little page fold over, or you could certainly use it anywhere else in the journal. And then, oops, I got stuck there. This is a very old piece of Italian book page, and it's very fragile, so I don't want to handle it too much. Down here, or on this page, I have a nice little bottom tuck, and I did another little eyelet with some of the crinkle ribbon, and popped in another one of my fun little journaling cards inspired by Sandy. And then a little swatch here that I did, and then just a little offcut from that other page. So that all gets tucked in here. This is also a little piece from one of the ephemera pages that I thought would look really pretty on the bottom there. And then Edith Holden, and then this is a very old just notebook paper. And here, put this beautiful little butterfly moth on here, and this is a scrap of Florentine paper that I had left over from another piece, so I thought that just looks so pretty in there. And a little age tape. This is my own coffee dyed paper. And then here I wanted this ruffle on there, but I didn't want it to stick out super far, so instead of putting it on the very edge of the page, I brought it in a little bit, and then I created a little tuck spot here just to kind of make the page a little bit more sturdy. Lined it with some cardstock, and look how gorgeous this paper is. I just love that. It's so beautiful. And then this little fold out here is from the Graphics Fairy. This is their 1700s music paper, and then on the back I just had to include this. It's just stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. I think it's one of their Botanical kits. But anyway, I just loved it, and I thought that would be perfect for this journal. So that tucks in there, and actually more could go in there as well. I think this is, I can't remember which kit this is from. Anyway, I already listed them below. There's some French creams and French greens in here. This darling little girl, I think, is from the farmhouse kit. She's just so cute. I think that's a chicken right there too. And then this is one of the little ephemera pieces, so I just tucked that under. This is some more of that beautiful Welsh Bible page. And this is the French greens. Here I have a little side tuck, and I just attached a little tag to that. And so this opens up. This is from J'adore le papier. I love her French documents, etc. And then so that just opens up like so. And then on this side I made just a little dangle here with a couple of the tags, and they are all both printed on both sides. And then this beautiful card here, and just added a little bit of my botanical paper can't remember what it's called. I think it's Creative Papers or something. I bought it off of Amazon. Ask if you want, and I'll send you the link, because I'll have to look it up. And then this beautiful paper is so stunning. I just added a little bottom tuck here with one of the little offcuts from the ephemera page, and then here is a little collage I added on the top just for a little variety. And here we have a beautiful lace pocket. This gorgeous trim lace is from Emily at Blue Linen Cottage, and I tucked in another fun little journaling card collage. This is from Craft and Cherish, and just love her images as well. So sweet. And then this is part of one of the ephemera pages. And again, this paper is from Lydia, and I can't remember. I think it's the Olivia Grace kit from Raindrop Lila. This is one of the French green papers on the back here, and I just kind of left this little ratty on the side and did a little chunky twine on the top. This is French greens. Here I did just a little, had to add one of our obsessive making of Heather's little pockets. If you haven't seen Heather from Ruby Hill or Ruby and Pearl make her little cute folded envelopes, you have to check that out. So just added a little extra piece I had that I hadn't made into a collage card yet, and then tucked these little pieces in. So that just goes right there. Super fun. And the center is the Edith Holden page, and I just thought that was so gorgeous. I didn't want to add anything else to it. And as you can see here, I've just tied the center for the signature. I have this gorgeous fabric from my friend Marlene at Uniquely Ella, and she sent this to me in a pack quite a while ago, but I just love it. I thought it was so gorgeous, so thought I'd add that in. This paper is the Arty Floral. This is more from the Nature's Gift kit. Here's one of those full-size tickets from the sheet. It's like a tear sheet from Lydia at Raindrop Lila, and then I just tucked in the side here this little mini journaling card and one of the tickets. I think this is from the Garden Memories kit, these little tags, and used a little bit of my crinkly ribbon. This is from the French Greens. Here's another gorgeous scrap from the Florentine paper I've bought from Rachel, Roxy Creations. This is the other side of that amazing, here, let me show you because it is so stunning, this. So this paper here, this is on the other side. It isn't just stunning. And then this little bottom tuck here, I popped in another fun little journaling card collage, little special trim. This was from Lovely Lotties, and just left that blank on the back. And then this is some Florentine paper, and this little scrap is just from a bundle I got, I think from Heather at Rose Hill Paper Cottage. So that all just tucks right in there. This is little homemade paper from Heather as well. These little labels are, I believe, from one of the Garden Memories kits as well. Probably the same one that this tag came from. So you can check that out. There's the back of that J'adore le papier French document, and the back of that very fragile Italian book page. Here I have just like a teeny tiny tuck because I wanted to put this ruffle on. And I think this is from the French Greens kit. And then I have this fun little play with the glitter watercolor paper. So I just tucked that in there. And how beautiful is that? So gorgeous. The back of that Bible page here is just a little side tuck. It could be glued on, but I decided to do a little collage on the back. So if you want to use that for a journal card, I didn't want it to be completely glued down, but you certainly could, and then, you know, do a nice tall tag in there as well. Let's see. Okay, here I have a little envelope. So this is from the Nature's Gift kit. And it's just gorgeous, and I tucked in some extras that I did not use in the journal. So here is a nice little tag, another one, This beautiful, gorgeous images here, and then this is just one of the offcuts from part of the collage papers. And then I double printed inside with that absolutely stunning green. It's kind of like a fun floral, just so soft and pretty. Love it. And that just clips on the top there. And then this whole page is beautiful for journaling or whatever. Just had some extras, so I popped those on here for a little collage. There's another one of those darling girls from Craft and Cherish. These thistles are so stunning. Love them. Edith Holden. And then here on this, let's see, I think this is almost the back. Did another collage card. This is also from Craft and Cherish, and I just added a little bit of this knitting behind, which I thought was really cool. And my last little scrap from the Florentine paper. So pretty. And then here we have, oh, that's back of that, another of the Italian pages. And then I just kind of made a little dangle here. I had this extra piece, and so I wanted to include that in here, and just thought it'd be kind of fun to have it flipped over so it's kind of all contained. And then that back of that page. Here I have some other extras that I kind of bound together, just tucked everything in, so this could all be taken apart and used in the journal as well. Super fun. It was nice to have lots of goodies to play with. And there's the back of that very first page with our embossing. And then the back cover is super fun. I did a little collaging here with some age tape, and then also a little offcut from the same print as the covers. And I made another Lydia inspired cluster booklet. I don't even know what to call it. It's like a little folio flip out. So I have a video. In fact, I'll attach that in the description box below, where you can see how I made my version of them. So this flips up like so, and then you flip open and open, and you have all these goodies inside. So this flips out here, and added a little tuck right there, a little Amity Bloom washi tape. And then in here we have some goodies tucked in. There's a beautiful lace there. This is just a little flip down. I had little scraps that I wanted to use up, so those pop right in there. And this is also a tuck spot. And then this is just collaging here. And then in here, this little bottom tuck, this could be made into a little bookmark, as could that. Just the extra ephemera pieces. So kind of fun to have a little secret spot. I did not decorate the back side because it is just so stunning. I wanted to just highlight the beautiful leaves and papers that I use to line both the front and back covers. So that just tucks in here, tied up with the twine, and there you have it. And then here's our back side. Super pretty, and I just love it. So if you are interested in purchasing this journal, if you could send me a comment below, or rather than on Etsy, message me on Instagram. I'm not sure if I'll list it in my Etsy shop, but if you see that pop up in my Instagram feed, I will be sure to let you know. But I would like to try to sell it outside of Etsy before, if possible. And otherwise, I hope you have enjoyed this. I appreciate you being here today, and I hope everyone is staying healthy, calm, peaceful, and make sure you're spending lots of time with family and friends, and remember all the most important things in life. Love you all. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon.